Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. Whew. So we're just gonna hop right into this. Okay. First and foremost, I kind of just want to share a video I came across on TikTok. I want to share this video while I get the cards ready. And basically, the reason I want to share this video is because, whatchamacallit? It's because I have like ADHD, right? And I feel like people don't give me enough credit for how much I hold it together during live streams. So this video, adorable little girl, she's totally, her video is absolutely like a documentary of how my brain functions. So I want to share it with you guys. All right. So hold on. Let me make sure the audio will be picked up. All right. I want to show you guys how my brain functions. And then maybe people will understand how much I keep it together.
Let's go shopping. Look at the glasses, guys.
Ooh.
Guys, look at this bucket hat, but it's so expensive, but it's so cute.
Ooh.
Look at the shoes.
Ooh.
Like, there's so much shoes here.
There are.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Say hi.
Hi.
Versace.
Versace.
We're gonna go right there. We're in North Face now. My hair's messy because of the wind.
Right?
We're shopping for backpacks.
Ooh.
My mom is shopping for a backpack because she's going hiking.
Ooh.
There's freaking so much people here. Look what my mom found. Oh, we're gonna go into the backpacks. My face is so shiny right now. It looks like plastic.
Right?
Look at it.
Ooh.
We're walking to the line. My mom has like a bag on hold. Look how cute this hat is.
It's cute.
I love
it.
the colors of the sweater.
Love it.
Look how pretty those rocks look.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna go to Ulta and seize candy. Look at guys. Guys, we're paying right now. Look how cute my shoes are. I'll show you guys my
How
shirt.
cute.
Here's my shirt, guys.
Ah,
Guys, we're
kawaii.
walking now. Oh my gosh, look at the wind. Versace again. Look it.
Show me.
Oh my gosh, guys.
What? K-pop.
So cute. Look at the K-pop store, guys. This is like my dream world. Oh
Mine
my
too.
gosh, guys. So cute.
Love
Guys, I
it.
found a lipstick eraser.
What?
I found stickers.
Show me. Oh my god.
1921. Guys, I love the store that we just went to. It's K-pop Idol.
I love it too.
2004, I think. I'm not sure. We're going to Forever 21.
Show me.
We're at Old Navy.
Show
I
me.
like this song. Oh, hi.
Hey.
We're at the Disney store. I love
Show
it.
me.
Stitch, I found Stitch.
Ooh.
Look at the chocolate.
Love it.
We're gonna walk to the car now and go to Ulta.
Take me to
We're
Ulta.
going to Ulta now. Guys, we're driving to Ulta now.
Show me. Show
Let's get out
me.
of the car to go to Ulta.
What are you getting?
Guys, it's Ulta. Ulta, let's go. IDK, know what I'm gonna get. Oh my god, guys. How are these a tester? They're fake. How do you test fake stuff?
Right?
Oh, guys, look at this.
Show me.
Why would I want drying lotion?
Pimples.
Guys, I might get Fenty Gloss. I just might. A teeny tiny might.
Which
Guys,
one?
I found a mirror.
Show me. Show me.
Ariana Grande. Ariana Grande. Ariana Grande. More Ariana Grande. More Ariana Grande.
She's been on my mind a lot
More
lately.
Ariana Grande. Guys, candle cereal. So crazy.
Ooh.
I promise I didn't do this, but look. Whenever I open this, I saw that somebody made a smoothie. I promise it wasn't me.
I believe
promise.
you.
I wouldn't ever do that.
I believe
I
you.
might get this.
Show me.
This.
What is that?
I'm gonna see how much this is.
How much is
I'm kind of
it?
scared about the price. Guys, this is $49.
Ooh.
Guys, I found it. I can't get it. My mom, if she said it. So.
Oh, it has plumping. Yeah, no, boo. No.
We're done. Bye.
That's it. Oh, that's it. That's how my brain functions on the daily. That's how my brain functions for anything. So for those who say I need to stay focused, motherfuckers, I am. This is as focused as I can get. Okay, I try really hard on live streams to stay focused. Give your girl some credit. Okay? How many of you were able to follow? How many of you were able to follow that? Because I absolutely was able to follow. It's like boom, 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 boom. And I was like, yep, show me. Yep, yes, no, we don't like that. Ooh, yes. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's as focused as I get. Breathe. I was just like, this is like a documentary of how my brain functions. Down to the, you guys, because I'm talking to all my personalities. I'm serious. I'm talking to, oh, you guys look. Ooh. So before people start complaining in the comments about like reading shouldn't take this long and I need to focus, shut up. Okay. This is how my brain functions. And that's that. So getting back to the reading, I'm focused, see? Fighting the process won't work. You know what I'm saying? Not because I tried to make a story time once and went back and watched it. Like, girl, how many tangents can you go on? Right? But the tangents are like the truth nuggets. They're the little nuggies that help to nudge you towards a more deeper understanding of whatever it is your story time is about. Jamie, leave that story time up. Don't take it down. And people who can't follow the tangent, they're just not ready for the message. It's okay. It's okay. So, getting back to the reading. Ooh. Ooh. All right. Fighting the process won't work. Okay, so you think it's going to work because you think you're stabilizing yourself, but in reality, all of that energy that you're exerting, and follow that little girl. What is, I don't remember her screen. I don't remember her handle. Follow her on TikTok. Her videos are adorable. Adorable. Okay. You think you're stabilizing yourself and you think it's working. In reality, all you're doing is expending your power nonsensically. I'm just saying, it's very nonsensical. It's going to decrease the intensity of your ability to manifest what it is you're trying to manifest. You are burning up all sorts of focus and intention on things that really don't, I mean, that's just an ego-based thing that you're going through. This concept that you can control your life to that degree. It's cute. It is. It's a cute concept. I used to try my best to do that. And every single time I would notice I was just expending so much of my energy in a nonsensical manner. Very nonsensical manner. So some of the ways that this can maybe apply to people's journeys. Marlene's all up in my ear. Fighting the process, fighting the feelings. She says emphasis on feelings. Fighting the feelings. I don't know. She goes, do you get what I'm saying? No, I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. I guess for some of you, you're fighting the feeling, whatever the feeling is. It's guiding you towards some space of realization. I don't know what you're needing to realize, but you're needing to realize it. She's totally having this full on conversation with me. You know, girlfriend, when I sit like this in front of a laptop and you see the comments on the side, that typically means I'm live streaming, thus working. This conversation can be for later. So Michael says we need to explore the notion of fighting the feelings. Okay, what are you feeling right now? What emotion? Where is the tension in your body located? Right? That's going to greatly tell you which chakra is involved. Okay, the tension is in my belly because I rushed home from the gym and I still have my waist trainer on. That's why. So if we take some of this off, layer upon layer, and throw it to the ground. No more tension. there's no more tension in my body. Okay, where's the tension in your body? Very serious question. Where's the tension being held in your body? And then think of the proximity to the chakras. Is it near the sacral chakra? Is it near the solar plexus? Is it near the root? Is it near the heart space, the throat, the third eye, the crown? Where is it? And then you're going to have to go look up later on exactly which emotions, what type of circumstance is involved with that. Like, okay, for example, Lexi says, my liver. Okay, liver is associated with anger. What are you angry about? What are you angry about and not willing to acknowledge? Now, what I learned after my mother passed, I was very angry, very, very, very angry. And I really didn't care about the consequences of my anger, right? So it took me about 2 years to recognize the anger was unrecognized grief. So are you angry or are you grieving in a way that's unrecognized, unacknowledged? These are important things to know about yourself. These are very, very important things to know about you and your journey. So Lexi says financial stuff. Are we ever really upset about financial stuff? Or is the financial stuff more, a symptomatic presentation of how much we feel disregarded and unsupported in life? Because if you really dig deep into it, it's not about the money, it's not about the finances that you're mad about. It's about the fact that you have a need and it feels like, it seems like you're not supported by the people who claim to love you. So is it really that you're not supported, or is it that you've put yourself in a position of deficit emotionally, mentally, physically, financially, in a space of deficit? And that space of deficit is your own doing because you give your energy, your time, and your focus to the things that really are unnecessary to give to. So then if that's the case, is it more of this thing? And I'm speaking in general terms, not addressing anyone specifically. Is that really a case of no one supporting you? Or is it a case of other people see the way that you have expended yourself inappropriately, trying to gain the loyalty of those who are incapable of being loyal and supportive to you? I had to learn these lessons. I had to learn them deeply because I consistently did that. Consistently did that for random people You have a need, I'll fulfill that need. All you have to do is let me know. I existed as people's ATMs for quite a few years. Quite a few years. To the degree that random people who I was not close to felt very comfortable just privately messaging me like, "Hey, can you give me like $1,500?" What? Yeah, I only need like 1,500. Have you lost your caca ass mind? Who are you to me that you feel it's appropriate to ask me for $1,500 to cover your expenses? I'm sorry. And then I realized I created those circumstances. I created that level of comfort. So rather than being offended, I began to see it as I have the gravity, the authority to create such a sense of safety for people. And I need to wield that responsibly. Meaning, no, I will not bail you out of your situation, but I will encourage you in other ways so that your situation can be resolved using your own free will. That was very difficult for me to learn. Why? Well, because as a Piscean, a highly sensitive empath, I've always felt like I am not welcome in the spaces that I occupy. I know a lot of you can relate to that. Any group that I would be heartily welcomed into, I've always felt like an outsider because I'm aware, painfully aware, of how different I am from most people. And it was an internalized sense of being separated from everyone. And so, because I felt so separate, I felt like I had to prepay for my place in your life by offering you all kinds of things. And then I took it a step further and realized, oh, that's emotional manipulation. I'm playing a martyr in order to create a dependency on me. And once you're dependent on me, you can't push me out. You can't reject me. And then it was a thing of, oh, that's manipulative. That is legit manipulative. Now, was I being malignant in my intention? No, I just wasn't aware the way I was creating dynamics that were toxic for everyone involved. And so that's the thing. Fighting the process won't work. This process of realizing who you are, where you are within your life, within your journey, how your decisions are creating circumstance that perpetuates your struggle, that further amplifies the deficit that already exists. This is a period where you can go ahead and change things. You can turn your life around by simply acknowledging the way your behaviors are creating the issues you struggle with. This is not about blame. This is about taking accountability for the causation and effects that you choose. So, if you can choose a causation that leads to an undesirable effect, you can also choose a causation that leads to something profoundly healing, profoundly beautiful, profoundly abundant in the things you are deficient in. This is how you reclaim your power. It's very easy. It's a very simple concept, but the application of this concept into your day-to-day life, that becomes much more complex because again, we've created dependency on us in order to secure our place in people's lives. It's going to trigger the hell out of you. It's going to cause you to develop a fear of, but if I don't give, then they won't need me and they'll push me out. Honey, those are the people who shouldn't be around you to begin with. But they're family. Biologically, okay. They'll still be your biological family at a distance. You need the space to heal. You absolutely need the space to heal. Okay? So this applies to whoever resonates with what I'm talking about. You need to clear away the fears that are allowing for the deficiencies to become much more amplified than they need to be. Our awareness of deficiencies in our life gives us the opportunity to begin really working towards consciously filling that void. Choosing what goes in there is a very powerful act of rebellion against the very programs that have been instilled in you. Rebellion doesn't have to necessarily be this very combative outward battle, right? The most potent types of rebellion are quiet and internal. Noncompliance is a powerful form of rebellion. How do we fight the things that need to be fought? Well, when you exist in a paradigm that is very well versed in external war, um, doing external war is guaranteed to fail. Non-compliance, no longer explaining yourself, excusing yourself from the tables that don't serve dignity and respect, empowerment, self-love, grace. No, thank you. I have enough toxicity inside me. I don't need to eat from your plate of toxicity too. Simply excusing yourself, not having to explain what your process is. Did you know that over explaining yourself is a symptom of trauma? That earlier in your life, you were maybe accused of being a liar. You were maybe gaslit into a space of seeing yourself so negatively as though you're the problem. It's a form of trauma response. Over explaining yourself. I used to over explain myself like a mofo. Like, I can't just say no. I have to give you reasons, many, many, many reasons as to why I'm saying no. Now it's just like, oh, no, thank you. Why? I just, doesn't resonate. And I don't need to explain anything else. If your energy feels toxic to me, I'm just going to bow out. I'm not going to explain, like, hey, you're doing this, this, and this. It's making me feel super uncomfortable. And I'm feeling like this is just super toxic for both of us. And I need to excuse me. No, I just disconnect. Now, if the person chooses to reach out and be like, hey, you've been so quiet, like, is everything okay? Then that's an invitation for conversation. Maybe they're not as toxic as I'm assuming. Maybe I'm projecting out onto them my own insecurities and toxicity. And it's at that point I'm being invited to have a conversation about what's going on. And it's at that point that I have the authority, the right to choose whether or not I will engage. Because not everyone that asks you, like, hey, what's going on, uh, is non toxic. Some of those people have learned how to overcome the boundaries that are being set, very healthy boundaries. Okay. So this summer is upside down, meaning you've been going through this process for quite some time, right? Um, and I think a lot of like what's happening has been a lack of awareness of the root causations of why the summer went upside down. Just because the summer is upside down does not mean we have to continue with an upside down autumn or winter. The moment you recognize that something is not functioning in its proper place, you are now empowered to make a decision to either correct what's happening or to enable it and allow it to continue. That's a choice that you're making. Okay. So the death card, this is telling me that it's time to end those toxic cycles. That's part of the process that you're in. And fighting that process by enabling the toxicity between you and another, it's just not going to work. Fighting the process won't work. You're fighting against the divinity of your soul. I mean, I'd be like, it would be foolish to fight against your soul. I fought against my soul several times, many times, more than several. regularly. That's why I know beyond the shadow of a doubt at this point, that's a fool's errand. That's a surefire way to amplify your insecurities. So, mm, um, the reading has just shifted gears. Um, and I'm working to not be reactive to this. There's no need to react. Talking to myself. So there's a homecoming that's needing to take place. And for whatever reason, whoever this homecoming card applies to, they're fighting the process of coming back home, right? The fighting of that process of coming back home where it's nice and warm and safe, it's not going to be prosperous. It's not going to lead to prosperity. What it is going to do is further complicate the journey. Okay. Rather than walking on your own 2 feet across the landscape of your ascension, what's going to end up happening is you're going to be dragged by soul, not by anyone else, but by soul. It's eventually it's eventually going to end up in a union anyways. There's going to be a coming together between you and another person. Um and that coming together does not necessarily have to be romantic, but it definitely is something that I don't know. Um, I don't know. It's going to be something that is beneficial for all involved. Okay. Um, yes. Yes. So, whew, okay. All right. Jesus loves me. Oh, yes, he does. Jesus loves me. Some days. Jesus loves me on some days. Other days, he could, you know, there's a Tagalog word. I speak Tagalog, right? English is not my first language. So there's a Tagalog word that, I'm going to borrow this from my cousin. Sometimes Jesus wants to sabunot me. Sabunot. Okay. You know what that means? Grab my wretched ass by my hair and just pull. There's some days that Jesus loves me, and some days that Jesus would like to simply sabunot me. It's okay. It's okay. I get it. Sometimes I could be frustrating, I'm not even mad, Jesus. I'm not mad. Just gentle tugs, okay? Because, alopecia has kicked into high gear. I don't have much left. Um, I don't have much left. It's the truth. So you're out of time. Time in reverse, you're out of time. If you feel like, well, it's not fair, I need more time, I need to make sense of things, you don't need to make sense of anything. When it comes to the journey of soul and your awareness of consciousness expansion, you don't need to understand prior to your compliance. Understanding comes oftentimes after the event, the experience has completed, and you've had time to really consider all sorts of different factors that factor into what you experienced. Okay. And there's the clarity you were seeking. You don't always need to completely understand and be completely ready for the next part of your journey. What I learned about needing to completely understand before I comply, that stems from a need to control. If you give me enough knowledge in advance of the details of what's coming up, which is why you want to understand, right? Well, why is this happening? Why does this have to? Why do I this? Why do I that? Well, that comes from a place of fear. I didn't trust my own personal ability to overcome the circumstances that I was living through. And so I needed to understand beforehand so that I could create contingency plans for contingency plans for contingency plans. I didn't understand just how lacking I was in trust. I did not trust myself or my soul. I did not trust how powerful I actually am over myself and my life. When you need contingency plans for contingency plans, you're actually acknowledging your belief that you will fail. And in the event of failure, you'll have another plan, right? But if you use the analogy that I've used many, many times regarding lifting weights to the point of failure, that's the most efficient way to reach a point of hypertrophy. That's muscle growth, hypertrophy, working it to the point of failure. What happens when you're lifting heavy and you're lifting to the point of failure? Not when it starts to burn, but when you literally cannot lift any further. What happens? Well, you've maximized the amount of micro tears in your muscle tissue. When you give it the proper nutrition within a specific amount of time after you have created the maximum amount of micro damage to your tissues, your body then has the building blocks to go ahead and repair that. Not only will it repair the micro tears, it will build a little bit more in preparation for further damage. You think life is damaging you? No. Life is inviting you to grow. Life is inviting you to experience energetic, physical, mental, emotional hypertrophy. But if you want to see it as life is punishing you, you're going to give up on yourself before you can actually see the results, the fruits of your labor. That's okay. Eventually you'll learn. But it's going to hurt before you learn. You're going to get frustrated before you learn. You're going to probably hate yourself, hate your life, hate everyone before you learn. And if that's a process you need to go through, then go through it. Go through it and own that decision. That's all you have to do. Own your decision and allow yourself to really be fully present as you do all the things you need to do. But I'm just telling you, there's another way. There is absolutely another way, a way that's highly efficient. I'm all about efficiency. I'm all about efficiency. I struggle with perfectionism. It used to be something that was very very much a pathology, a disease state. Now my perfectionism ensures efficiency. It's no longer a disease state. I don't need to control the outcome. What I need to do is hyperfixate on what I'm doing at the moment and make sure I'm doing it properly to the best of my ability. And the outcome will always be something that I'm proud of. Why? Because I've put my all into it. You can take all of these disabilities that you've been programmed to believe exist inside you and use them in the way they were intended to be used. You can. It's a matter of shifting your perception. Shifting your perception in such a way where you can see the truth and the gravity of who you are and what you're capable of. You're capable of so much more than what you give yourself credit for. And that's unfortunate. That's very, very unfortunate. But it can be corrected. It can be corrected quite efficiently. For most people, the correction comes in the form of a trauma-induced accretion. You're experiencing severe trauma, and that is the very thing that's forcing you to shift your mindset. Or You could comply with your process, not with other people. I am highly averse to complying with other people's demands just because they demanded it. Fuck no. I don't think so. Make me. Those are my responses to people trying to force compliance out of me because they said so. Make me. I refuse. So what's going to happen now? Not a goddamn thing, because I'm not going to comply. Not a goddamn thing. Mhm. That's what's going to happen. And then I'm going to carry forward and just continue with life. I know a lot of you are very afraid to say no, because what will happen if I say no? Not a goddamn thing. Those are people who are consistently depleting you anyways. So what's going to happen if they go away? You're no longer going to be depleted. Yeah, the trash is taking itself out. And a lot of people don't like to hear that. But that's the gravity of what you are ignoring. When you hold on to the things that life is trying to remove from you. I mean, I get it. I do. There's that element of fear of the unknown. Um, you know, and then also this erroneous belief that you can strong arm life into doing what you want. What you want and what you need are oftentimes not the same thing. Yeah. And even when it is the same thing, it's not always going to be very easy, because the most worthy things in life oftentimes takes quite a bit of effort so that you can gain the maturity that often comes after the struggle, the maturity to appreciate what you've just accomplished. Life is not punishing you. It never was. It never was. It's providing you the perfectly calibrated opportunities and events to grow to your maximum potential. It's time you see life in that way, because that's the reality of life. And if people want to be like, that's not true because I have really effed up stuff happening to me. Okay, what are you deciding and choosing that causes the effed up stuff to keep happening? Are you saying it's my fault? I'm absolutely saying you have control over what you experience. That's not right. Then what is right? Allowing you to continue to lie to yourself? This is not the channel for that. See, it's important for you to know the gravity of what you decide, because once you begin to understand the gravity of what you decide and the effects that come based on what you decide, you can begin choosing things that other people don't give you permission to choose. Choose it anyways. Because if that decision is what's going to lead to your peace, forget what other people give you permission to decide. Make a decision for yourself, quite possibly for the first time in your life. It's very much time for you to take your power and use it responsibly. Use it intentionally. Part of using your personal power responsibly is using it with specific intent. I mean, what else would you use your power on beyond allowing yourself to heal? What else would you use your power on? Defending yourself. So long as you have to exist in environments that are not safe for you, you're going to have to defend yourself. It's a waste of energy, I tell you, not because you're not worth defending, but because get out of that environment. Just get out of that environment. That's a lot easier said than done, obviously, yes. But damn, it's worth it. Whatever struggle you have to go through to get yourself out of the environment that depletes you, it is absolutely worth it. People might be like, well, that's so easy for you to say, I mean, because you have this semi charmed life. I love my life. I love my life. I love my life. So, with that being said, yes, my life is semi charmed. I have an amazing environment that I live in. Um, Not because of any bougie anything, but because I have a very loving family. I have a loving husband. I have amazing family, and it's a semi charmed life. It's very peaceful. Now, what process did I have to go through to reach this place of peace that I now live in? I had to be fucking homeless for 3 years. I lived in a parking lot in a broken ass RV. I never talk about things that I've never lived through myself. I only ever talk about things that I have lived through myself, that I have experienced firsthand, have firsthand knowledge about. I had to go through so much in life so that I could speak truthfully and powerfully about things that I know personally about. Whatever you go through to get to where you need to be within yourself, it is absolutely worth it. Absolutely worth it. There's nothing left to say about that. I have a semi charmed life because I created it. I created it for myself. There's no reason you can't create it for yourself. And what if the struggles you're going through, the very process that you're fighting, is a process in which your soul is aligning your life to become semi charmed as well? If you think this only applies to me and people like me, are you drawn to me? Do you resonate so deeply with me? Like, oh my God, she says all of these things that I've been trying to find the way to communicate and explain. And she just knows. You know what that means? You're just like me. You're just in a different position of understanding who you are. You're just like me. The only difference between me and you is I've already gone through the process that you're currently in. And that's why I have an understanding at this point of what that process is. Go through your process. I promise you, at the end of it, you'll have the same understanding I do. If you comply with what your soul is asking you to experience. And compliance is not volunteering to be a doormat. Those are completely different things. I had to learn that the hard way. Magnetism, whatever this is that you're needing clarity on, whoever this is, because it looks like two birds. It looks like two birds. They're being drawn to you. That situation, that that circumstance. Ooh, sorry. Is this a situationship? Oh Lord. Ooh. Is this a situationship that you're entering into? I'm not even going to judge. I'm going to have no opinions on that. I'm you do your thing, boo. You do your thing, okay? Um I'm going to carry forward. I have a session starting soon. So, center in reverse. You're very unbalanced right now. You've been pulled from your space of center. You've been pulled from your space of peace. And I'm looking at the cards that have already been pulled in front of me. I keep them in stacks, right? Look, this union. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then of course, right? Okay. So I think this has to do with for some of you, this has to do with a person who, as you try and maybe control the situation. Maybe there's an avoidance that's happening in this situationship. That's why it's a situationship. There's an avoidance, there's a denial, there's a whatever it is that's happening. Um, that's what's pulling you from your space of peace, right? I think life is telling you who has a proper place in your life and who needs to just be left on the curb. And if you're fighting that, like for example, you know who this is about and you're wanting to leave them out on the curb because it's trash day, and then life keeps bringing them back into your life, but you got to have discernment, okay? Don't misconstrue the words that I'm speaking right now. If life and soul continues to bring them back, maybe it's not time for them to go away. Another example of this is when life keeps trying to pull this person away from you and you keep trying to hold on with bloody fingernails, like there's no room for another J-Lo in this world. The petty came out. I just have such a disdain for J-Lo. First, boo, your dancing is mid, your singing is subpar. What is this? Why, outside of satanic rituals, why are you so famous? I don't know. It's not even me hating, it's me failing to comprehend. Like, why? But carrying on with my analogy, I mean, the way this woman is holding on with bloody fingernails to Ben Affleck. I obviously watched a gossip video yesterday. Oh, the petty in me. Yeah, no, just don't be a junior J Lo. Like, let that man go. Let him go, girl. Boo. Ooh. 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 just, I just gotta take a moment. I just gotta take a moment. A moment. What would I give if I could live out of these waters? What would I pay to spend a day warm on the sand? Bet you on land they understand. Bet they don't reprimand their daughters. Yes, they do, Ariel. Okay, so just centeredness. Get JLo out of your mind. Get JLo out of your mind. I almost feel bad for her because it's like, I'm sure she's super stressed out and she's so embarrassed. I'm trying to find the humanity in this woman. Okay, we're gonna leave her alone. So, expectation. You need to make sure your expectation is in alignment with the growth that's trying to occur for you. Okay? That expectation, um, it's going to give you the wings. It's going to give you the wings, right? And then look at the buffalo. If you're going to have an animal as your spirit animal, I would pick the buffalo because first off, they totally have my attitude. They have my demeanor already. Like they seem chill, but they really have no chill. They really don't. They don't. And if the wind blows the wrong way, they're going to gore the shit out of you. So just keep your distance. Admire them from a distance. It's okay. Another thing I love about the buffalo is unlike other critters, they will not run away from the storm. You see, when you run away from the storm, dependent on the direction you run, you're just prolonging your exposure to the storm. No, they'll run head first into the storm. It ensures the longevity of that storm is diminished. When you're running head first into it, I mean, the clouds are not going to follow you. They're going in the opposite direction. when you address your life head on, it doesn't prolong it. It doesn't prolong it. It causes everything to be handled right then and there, and then it's done. Okay. So friction, there's no need for friction if you can handle life head on. If you cannot handle life head on, then there will be friction. But here's the thing, friction is not necessarily a thing to be avoided. How do you create movement? Via friction. Friction is a byproduct of movement. How do microwaves work? Let's have a little bit of a let's have a little bit of a class right now. How do microwaves heat up your food? It radiates your food and blah, blah, blah. Okay, yeah, but what is the actual machinations of that? Well, the microwaves penetrate into the food, into the mass, and those microwaves cause vibration. It causes the particles to vibrate. Because of the intensity of the vibration, it causes friction. Friction produces heat. That's how your food gets hot. Another thing, friction is necessary for movement. If there is no friction, you're probably not going to move. You look at how tires move across the road via friction. So, friction, if you're not going to glide like ice skaters do over ice, then you're going to need to have some friction. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It can cause a lot more wear and tear on you. But again, if that's your only mode of transportation, then that's what it's going to have to be. Okay. Heat in reverse, in reverse, this is telling me you're getting mad at the wrong thing. You're getting very hot-headed over the wrong things. Maybe in some scenarios, anger is an appropriate response, but not in all scenarios, right? Because anger generates tremendous amounts of heat, which is a form of energy. So that kind of fuels the appropriate series of events that need to take place to correct whatever made you angry. But again, you have to use discernment regarding when it's appropriate to use heat, anger. And I think with it being upside down, and then the friction card in reverse, I think this is telling me that you're misunderstanding the application of friction in your life. It's to move you out of the places that you've gotten so comfortable existing in that you've been unwilling to exit. Sometimes life will need to cause you to become so uncomfortable in order for you to stop remaining in those spaces of limited existence. All right, moderation in reverse. So now is not the time to use moderation. Now is the time to utilize your energy, your strength, your focus. Invest that into a forward movement. Forward is simply moving forward. It's not necessarily bound by direction, like you have to go north, right? No. It's just progression. Forward in regards to progression. Sophia, divine wisdom in reverse, though. When you try and avoid the circumstances that you've experienced, like you don't want to think about it because now it's done, you don't want to deal with it anymore, you're not reaping the full benefits of the knowledge you've acquired as you've lived through those circumstances. When you fail to harvest the knowledge, you will not have the opportunity to apply that knowledge, and knowledge applied is wisdom. Divine wisdom in reverse. You're not applying the knowledge. When you don't apply the knowledge, that tells soul you didn't learn what you needed to learn, and that's going to repeat. That experience will repeat. Sometimes immediately, sometimes there will be a delay, sometimes it will involve another person, not the original person you were experiencing it with. Whatever it is, if you need to finish a lesson, you need to finish a lesson. And soul will find a way to make you finish that lesson. And not just finish the lesson, but also get you to learn what needed to be learned in that lesson. Oh, look, knowledge. So now this awareness of what the knowledge is and the need to kind of revisit certain experiences, it's there. Your awareness of that is there. So now you can begin choosing whether you want to or you don't. The moon. This is telling me that you're hiding a lot from yourself. So, card number 32, right? 3 plus 2 is 5. This is a broken down mirror of knowledge. The card is 5, knowledge. Yeah. It's a fractionated mirror. So that tells me that you have knowledge, but you're only willing to see part of it. You're not willing to see your part in it. You're only willing to acknowledge what someone else did to you. Not good. Although understandable and very commonly done, it's still not good for your growth. If you want to enter into a totality, you have to acknowledge how you co-created those things, those circumstances, those experiences. You can't just live well, you can. It's going to be a shitty outcome, being blunt with you. You can absolutely ignore how you co-created that and blame everyone else that was involved. You absolutely can. A lot of people do that. Are they happy in life? No. They tend to be people who exist in a victim mentality, which sucks. Not just to witness, but especially for the person who believes wholeheartedly that they're a victim. It really sucks. That's a surefire way to hurt your own feelings consistently. So, ooh, okay. I got to hurry up. Earth, this is about something that's happened in your day-to-day life, okay? You need to address what's happening right now in order for your future to involve liberation. You want to be liberated from the past, you need to go ahead and do the work now, okay? The past only creeps up when you need to revisit it, when you need a little bit of a refresher course in order for you to not repeat or be more aware when when an event repeats. Why are you yelling? Do you guys hear that extremely high-pitched sound? All right. I'm going to address this publicly simply because it needs to be addressed publicly. There is an individual that's intentionally trying to bore through my shield. Not only will I employ defensive measures immediately as I'm speaking, I'm also going to be installing an additional shield, a defensive shield. If you would like to have a little bit of a defensive shield applied onto your shield, the outside of your shield, of course. I don't want to enter into anyone's space. Go ahead and put hashtag shield. I'm more than willing to share. Hashtag shield. From now on, actually, since several weeks back, carrying forward, I will not be tolerating any energetic attempts at being disrespectful. It will always have the appropriate level of response. I will not always share what that appropriate level of response is, but it will always have an appropriate level of response. Today, I will share, I'm going to fuck shit up. Yes, absolutely. To the individual, clicking off the live stream is not going to work. You've already activated rules of engagement. You need to learn. This is not the first time you've tried, but this is the first time I'm going to teach you really well. All right. Here we go. Breathe very deep and very slow. For those of you sensitive to energy, you might begin to feel a movement around your space, a warmth and a tingling. I'm now overlaying a protective shield around those who want to have it. Feel that peace, that stillness, the feeling of being loved and provided for. As part of the gravity of the authority and power I hold, a power that I have used with tremendous grace and patience. Those who have malignant intentions towards me, I'm now deactivating portions of your morphogenetic template and withdrawing your access to your abilities. This cannot be undone except by me. This is the only show of leniency you will receive. For those of you who have received an overlay of a protective shield on the outside of your auric field, allow yourself to feel the influx of energy. You'll feel it first through your feet, up your legs, through your core. Feel it expand in your chest, rise above your throat, cover your head like a protective helmet before it overflows through your crown and infuses your entire auric field. Take a deep breath in. Slow exhale out. Allow yourself to return back to your body. Allow your experience to very slowly and very gently conclude. Mm. It's such a beautiful feeling of stillness. How do you guys feel? Mm. Ooh, I love it. I love it. Mm. as instructed by soul. I'm making a modification for those whose abilities have been turned off. So long as you continue to try and enter my space, your energy will be drained. The drained energy will be used to continue to fuel the shield that I've just gifted my community. Thank you for your contribution to the safety of my community, but I would advise you to no longer return to this space. That is a second show of leniency. It's such a sense of peace. I love our community so much. Just so much. We deserve to exist in just absolute stillness and peace when we share this sacred space together. I will no longer tolerate anymore. And yes, my actions are absolutely appropriate. I do not do this in anyone else's space. As a steward of this sacred space that I share with all of you, I have an obligation for our entire community to feel safe. I will no longer make excuses for people. No longer. Nor will I feel bad. There's nothing for me to feel ashamed about, guilty about, or any other negative emotion or perception. And to my community, I love you guys. You guys are just so awesome. I should have begun doing this a long time ago. I wasn't ready. And for the tardiness of my growth and maturity, I do apologize. I will not return back to that space of limiting myself and my potential to make the unsavory people feel more comfortable in their attempt to violate our sacred space. Things are changing, and I welcome and embrace that change. Carrying forward, romantic love. So I was telling you guys there's this person. I don't know who it is for you. I don't know who it is for you, but they do have some romantic intentions. They're not a stalker type. I don't get that. They're someone who has been very respectful of your space, your time, um, your process. It's been something very just respectful, considerate. Okay. I sense that they've stayed away for quite some time, not because they've just disregarded you, but because you've made it abundantly clear that you need your space. You've been in their thoughts, you've been in their heart this entire time. The silence was a sign of their elevated regard for you, is the sense that I'm being given. Okay. Wise leadership in reverse. So don't allow your fear to be the thing that guides you and leads you. Don't allow your insecurities to be the thing that guides you and leads you. Okay. Devotion. Your devotion to remaining in that space of being hurt, that space of feeling disappointed because things did not turn out in the way that you expected, that needs to be stopped. Okay. All right. So, in the world, not of the world in reverse. This is telling me that you've forgotten just how magical you are. You are a magical mofo. I'm serious. You are magical AF. So, allow yourself to conduct yourself in a magical manner. Okay. Receiving. Allow yourself to receive the confirmations that are necessary for you to see the truth of who you are. Sometimes we have to stand in front of dark things because it is a dark surface that makes for the greatest type of mirror. That's all. It's just something to help you see the gravity of who and what you are. Like, I'm not even, super de duper moved in a negative manner by the attempts to try and harm me during a live stream. You know, like, for example, today, just a few seconds ago, that allowed me to see the mirror of the ways in which I continue to diminish my power and the grace that I naturally have inside me. The reality is, I'm just very considerate. I actually don't need permission to enter someone's field. I just choose not to in order to be considerate of someone else's sovereignty. I don't need permission to enter a field. I carry the codes innately within myself to breach all defenses, human and otherwise. You see, although I look docile, a soul like mine was made for war. I have full capabilities. I just don't use them. And in my lack of use, I've inadvertently and passively given permission to try. That ends today. I don't need permission. You see, my ego is structured in such a way, and I think quite a few members of our community have an ego like mine. This ego of mine, it's inverted. I already struggle with accepting my worth, my power, my purpose. That's just, that's a part of my day to day, right? I don't have the aesthetic of humbleness. I just really, truly, genuinely feel, despite having all this capability, I'm given the capability and access to it in order to better serve my purpose. It doesn't elevate me above others. In fact, it ensures that I understand my proper place is beneath so that I could lift up, right? I wholeheartedly believe and accept that. Now, when my ego flares up, it doesn't make me feel hyperinflated sense of importance. It's actually quite the opposite. You see, I can never lose control or lose sight of the reality, the fact that I am here in the capacity of service to humanity. And so when my ego flares, I'm approaching this threshold of forgetting I am here in service. And so when the ego flares, I feel very, very small. Not because someone else successfully diminished me, but because I needed a reminder from myself. Remember your place. Don't act out of pocket. You are not to dominate other people just because you can. So I always have a natural built-in reminder. And I accept that now. I never misuse my abilities. Not a single time. As easy as it would be for me. Not even towards my stalker. Someone who's threatened to murder me and my family for several years now. Not even then. Because I will not allow anyone to sway me from my space of integrity. And it's important for you guys to know that, because you don't give your power away to someone and allow them to convince you to diminish your identity and your integrity. There are appropriate levels of response and correction. I will no longer deny those things. I will no longer deny it. Okay? So, we all need to exist in a space of really embracing who we are. It's a process. It is. You'll get there. You will get there. You continue to come and share space with me, I promise you. Your perception will be shifted 1 degree at a time, and you will get there. You will begin to see the truth of your value, how you have sold yourself short, how you have given passive permission to the people who have no problem mistreating you, taking advantage of you, trying to convince you of the lies that they believe about themselves. You know what? It's also important for you all to know it's okay for people to feel uncomfortable because they recognize the gravity of you, even without you saying a word. It's okay. Let them serve as the reminders that just because you don't believe in your value does not mean the value does not exist. You will rub people wrong when you enter a space because they believe in your value more than you are capable of even acknowledging it. It's okay. You'll get through it. New birth guarded vigilantly. As you level up, which the feeling is you guys will be leveling up as we're approaching September 23rd. That's a massive date. That's around the time frame 22nd, 23rd, 24th, with the apex on the 23rd. That's a massive date. And the reason it's a massive date is because the energy of the double diamond emerald sun consciousness is coming through. That's all in preparation for other energetic events. Okay. So things are going to escalate a little bit. Hang tight. It's going to be okay. You're going through a process. Just keep reminding yourself of that. Card number 21, beyond the mind, the heart beats. Right. You see, there's a rhythm to you and your growth that can't be explained by a human perception, by human expectations, by human based timelines. Respect the fact that your soul knows when you need to be in specific types of environments, when you need to be in specific types of experiences. It knows when you're ready, even if you don't believe you are. It knows. Okay. Card number 3, inspiration in reverse. Allow yourself to be inspired by your process. If you feel inspired by me, beautiful. Thank you for that. That's absolutely an honor. But let me remind you, the only reason you're inspired by me is because I'm a reflection of a future potentiality you already carry inside yourself. We are mirrors of each other. I am not that far off from who you are. You would not be drawn to me if you were not just like me and simply in the process of allowing that to come out, to come forward. I would not tell you things just to hype you up and make you feel good about yourself. I am absolutely capable of being savage in my honesty and telling you straight up to your face, you're the problem, boo. You're the problem. Right now, I don't feel like you're the problem. I feel like there is a problem, but it needs to be resolved because that problem is nonsensical. It's nonsensical. It comes from a place of insecurity about your appropriate place in your life. It's nonsensical. Let it go. Let your life and your life circumstances show you exactly what you're capable of, how capable you are. Okay? Focus on the light. Even if that light is a tiny dying ember, focus on that as you walk through the valley of shadows. For some of you, you're needing to walk through the valley of shadows because you're needing to be reminded where your power actually is. It's hidden away, very artfully and beautifully hidden away. It's time for you to retrieve those things. Okay? Defend to the end the worthwhile, but it's in reverse. So this is telling me you need to speak the F up. When things aren't right, you need to speak the F up. Screw this concept of staying quiet to maintain the peace. If you can't speak your truth because it will create a war, there is no peace that exists in that environment. That's a fake peace. That fake peace that you're trying to maintain, that's at the cost of your internal peace. No, no, abso-fucking-lutely not. No. Defend to the end the worthwhile. You are worth it. You are absolutely worth it. Patience. Maybe it's time for us to lose our patience. I'm not sure. I think for some of you, it's absolutely time. Your patience is no longer patience. It's entering into the realm of enablement. For some of you, I don't know for who, but the moment you hear me say that and you're like, oh shit, it's probably for you. Okay. It doesn't make you a weak person, doesn't make you bad. It just means you're unaware of the ways you're enabling whatever circumstance. Celestial teacher, everything that's happening in your life right now is serving to teach you something. Take a good look. Observe from a space of neutrality. Okay? Just observe and see what needs to be further and more deeply observed. Shine in reverse. Dimming your shine, that's not going to make people less offended by the fact that you exist. How many of you know me from when I was simply on Facebook? Because if you've been present since I was strictly only on Facebook, you know, you witnessed how much I dimmed my shine to make insecure people feel more secure with their attempts to try and keep up with me, with their attempts to try and emulate me, mimic me, steal from me, right? Did my attempts to dim my shine prevent any of the drama that ensued? The moment they realized you will never be me. You will never have what is rightfully mine, what I have rightfully earned, what I have worked so hard to establish. I'm not talking about money, y'all. I'm talking about the trust that I cultivated with the people who trust me. The problem was not me. The problem was what I allowed. Dimming your shine is not going to do anything but delay the inevitable. It's just going to delay the inevitable. It's best to simply address it now before it has a chance to fester and become more than what it needs to be. Okay? Golden crown, but in reverse. So your soul is telling you these same things. You're not receiving those messages. You know how you know when the messages are for you? At least for my videos? Because you are already thinking those things. You were already feeling those things. You were already coming to those conclusions. Your soul was already telling you. And I'm simply reiterating it. That's it. I'm reiterating it. That's how you know the message is absolutely meant for you. Okay. So, card number 27, self worth. Know your worth. Know your worth. Okay. It's time for you to learn what that is. Cosmic connection. This goes all the way back to whoever that individual is. They are a very crucial part of your awareness of who you are, what you are, all of those amazing, 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 amazing things. Amazing things, right? New chapter in reverse. This is a continuation of the chapter that you need to complete. I feel like you're being sped down a pathway that will give you a very clear understanding of the gravity, of the divinity of your journey. Okay. Final card. I gotta go. Oh my gosh. I don't even know if I have time for the whole card. It's okay. Oh, the impossible made possible. Oh, that's so appropriate. Oh my gosh. Card number 9, the impossible made possible. Love brings a sea into boiling and turns a mountain into a pebble. Love creates infinite openings in the dark sky and shutters the earth with its magnitude. She spins, this great earth goddess, upon invisible strings amongst the wildly pulsating ballet of life. Stars are born, live, and die all around her. Life moves in constant flux, and still she spins in her great, loving, constant pirouette. How can this be? All of creation is born from nothing. Out of endless silence and darkness, light emerges. What strange magic is this? The sun heats the solar system and burns with a power to destroy life, yet it is a force by which life is sustained. Your passion can create destruction or further your efforts to build your dreams. Surely this makes no sense and cannot be. We dance in the realm of the impossible made possible constantly, you and I. We are so engrossed in it, so familiar with it, and yet blind to it, that these constant impossibilities happening in every moment fail to inspire us. What are your biggest, boldest, most extraordinarily impossible dreams compared to this great impossibility of life itself? Ah, they are but tiny seeds in the Creator's masterful hand, being now planted in the heavenly garden. Yes, they are being planted right now, for the moon tells us the time is right. Most tenderly shall they be watched over, nurtured into fullness according to the season. Yes, that growth is assured. The impossible is now made possible. There are so many seeds being planted in your divine garden. You must tend to those seeds instead of watering other people's gardens, because what you think is a beautiful garden, in reality, it's nothing but overgrown weeds that you're watering from across the fence. We only limit what we believe to be possible by our lack of imagination. The divine has recourse to all that is and all that is yet to be. Is there any limit to the resources of the heavens? No. So then, why has not every impossible dream now been rendered possible, indeed manifest in shining glory upon the earth? The human heart knows everything in vision can manifest according to divine timing and grace, yet the mind does quake with fear, so much so that it will not listen to the heart at times. That fear is a childlike nightmare, that should you offer yourself up to the sacred loving power of the great Creator, you might find that you are found to be lacking. That's a childlike fear because you were custom designed by Creator itself. There is nothing lacking about you. You only perceive yourself to be lacking when you compare yourself to someone else who does not serve in the same capacity you were created to. The mind holds itself captive with dark fantasies of that profound rejection and then avoids confronting it directly at all costs. It creates barriers instead, truly nothing more than lines in the sand it believed to be forts. But what strongholds can resist love? It's like water. It seeps into every available space and changes form to survive in every environmental condition. With unfailing intelligence, it creates life. From steam to ice, rainfall, the river, and ocean, rain descending into snowflakes, snow capping the peak, expressing itself with beauty and genius. It nestles under the earth and rises to the sky, only to return to the earth again. It will erode blockages and prevail no matter how long that process takes. It carves the earth into shape and form. Where it is, there is life. Such is the adaptable intelligence and persistence of water, just as is the power of love. So now you're guided by this loving power to drop the doubt, shed the incredulity, and open up the mind. Allow your imagination to inspire, as though you are a child in a great garden, hearing the breath of the earth and the wind whipped leaves and the voices of the ancestors in birdsong. The universe wants something to happen for you, something beautiful, something utterly improbable, and something perfect for your path, your own unique divine destiny. Your mind will wonder if it is even possible. People around you may wonder the same thing, but your heart will burn for it to become real, to become more than a fantastic, improbable dream. You'll want it with all your soul. You may not even be consciously aware as yet what this great desire is, but your heart knows. It holds the secret knowledge and will unveil it when your mind can handle it. When your heart is much more powerful than your mind, You won't unintentionally block the incredible grace of manifestation, seeking to pour into your thirsty soul like the sweetest, purest waters of blessing. I love that. I love that. I love that. Allowing yourself to drink until you are full, to drink in that replenishment, renewal. Allow yourself to receive the promises that have been made by soul. Acknowledge the fact that soul is eager to make good on those promises. I think we're all entering into a space where we need to allow life to happen for us without us fighting it, without us struggling to believe that we're worthy of it. If you allow yourself to witness, you'll begin to see that life has been trying to show you exactly what you're worthy of. If you stop fighting the process, stop fighting your life, beautiful, beautiful things end up happening for you. So allow it. Allow it and allow your experiences to confirm the reality of what I've been saying this entire live stream. Fighting the process won't work. Flowing with it will ensure that you will have everything that you need when you need it the most. I gotta go. Please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Join me when I'm live. And if you haven't already, go look for me on TikTok. It's Emmy Evolving. If you would like to book a private reading with me, you absolutely can. Just click on that QR code or click the link in the comments. If you would like to see all the other types of sessions that I offer, because I'm more than just a clairvoyant. I'm a morphogenetic recodement engineer, and I specialize in parasitic extractions. You can check out the rest of my offerings here. Click on that QRC code. It'll take you to my shop, and you'll see the full menu of what I offer to the general public. All right, guys, I must go. Please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Join me when I'm live. Find me on TikTok. Click the QR code, and I'll see you guys again very soon. Bye, everyone.